Hello, dear distinguished people. My name is Dr. Abdelghani Fawad Hussain. Welcome to a new lecture from our training course. The complete collection of search engine optimization strategy templates with step-by-step instructions. The ultimate guide to landing pages. Learn how to design, write, and test landing pages that will convert visitors into leads. Landing pages. What is a landing page? A landing page is a website page with a specific purpose. The objective of a landing page is to convert visitors into leads. While there are many types of landing pages, the intent the same: get more leads. Landing pages contain lead forms that ask visitors for their contact information in exchange for something of value, otherwise known as an offer. Landing page best practices. Craft a benefit. Focused headline. Choose an image that illustrates the offer. Write compelling copy. Include the lead form above the fold. Add a clear and standout call to action. Give away a relevant offer. Only ask for what you need. Remove all navigation. Make your page responsive. Optimize for search. Remember to use a thank you page. Craft a benefit, focused headline. For every 10 people that visit your landing page, at least 7 of them will bounce off the page. To keep that number low, your visitors need to know and understand what's in it for them within seconds of arriving. Your headline is the first thing they'll read, and it should clearly and concisely communicate the value of your landing page and offer. 2. Choose an image that illustrates the offer. Yes, an image is mandatory, and it should represent your target audience. The purpose of your image is to convey a feeling. It should illustrate how your visitor will feel once they receive your offer. Certain images may work better than others, so you should always split test your options, which we'll cover below. 3. Write compelling copy. Don't spend all that time crafting the perfect headline and finding your ideal image to fall flat when it comes to the words that will actually sell your call to action. Your copy needs to be clear, concise, and should guide your visitor to the action you want them to complete. Compelling copy also speaks directly to the visitor by using you and your to make them feel engaged. We'll go more in depth on copy tips below. Pro tip: speed up the writing process by using generative AI to create a rough draft of your landing page copy and then refine it to match your brand voice and tone. With Campaign Assistant, HubSpot users can plug in their main points, features, and even cocktail, and then generate a first draft in seconds. 4. Include the lead form above the fold. Your lead form needs to be readily accessible should your prospect want to convert right away. You definitely don't want them searching and scanning your landing page to find your offer. Above the fold just means that visitors don't have to scroll to get to the form, that it's in view as soon as someone hits the page. This could be a form or an anchor link to the form. Even better, design your form to scroll with the user as they move down the page. 5. Add a clear and standout call to action. The call to action. Cocktail is arguably the most important element on your landing page. It's one of many elements that encourage conversion. The encourage conversion. The Cocktail button needs to stand out, meaning you should use a color that contrasts with other elements on the page. Be clear about what you want visitors to do. That is, use an action verb that spells it out for them, like submit, download, or get it now. More on CETA best practices below. 6. Give away a relevant offer. Think of your landing page as a part of your lead's journey to your ultimate offer, your product or service. That is, Your offer is the thing you give in exchange for your lead's personal information. Not only should it be compelling enough for your visitor to provide their contact info, but it should also be relevant to your business. Say you sell horseshoes. Your offer might be something like 10 simple ways to size your horse's hooves, because ultimately you're going to ask that lead to buy your horseshoes. You wouldn't hook them with an offer about organic farming, because that puts them on a completely different path. We'll talk more about how compelling offers below. 7. Only ask for what you need. You want to gather as much information as possible about your lead, but how much you ask for depends on several factors. How well acquainted they are with you, where they are in their buyer's journey, and how much they trust you. Ask for as little info as you need in your lead form to create a low barrier to entry. A name and an email are more than sufficient to nurture a new lead. 8. Remove all navigation. Your landing page has one objective and one objective only: to convert visitors into leads. Any competing links, including internal links to other pages on your website, will distract from that goal. Remove any other links on your page to draw all of your visitors' attention to your call to action. 9. Make your page responsive. Just like every other page on your website, your landing pages need to be responsive to accommodate every viewing experience. The last thing you need is for your form to fall out of view on mobile devices. Give your visitors every possible opportunity to convert, no matter how they're viewing your page. You can use tools to help accomplish this. For example, HubSpot's drag and drop landing page editor, available in Marketing Hub Starter, makes it easy for you to create mobile-optimized landing pages and forms effortlessly. 10. Optimize for search. Sure, you'll be driving visitors to your landing page through email blasts, social posts, and other marketing methods, but your page should also be optimized with target keywords for your paid campaigns and organic search. When someone searches for your key phrase, they should find your landing page. Similarly, when you target a keyword with paid ads, those words should exist on your landing page. 11. Remember to use a thank you page. A thank you page is where you send leads once they've completed your form. Now, you could just show a thank you message on the same page or ditch the thank you altogether, but there are many reasons why that's not the best option. A thank you page serves 3 important purposes. It delivers the offer that you promised, usually in the form of an instant download. It gives you an opportunity to interest your new lead in additional relevant content. It serves as a chance to thank them for their interest, which goes a long way in promoting them to a customer down the line. How to design your landing page. Oftentimes, design means creativity, colors, and pretty pictures. For the purpose of a landing page, we take design a step further to mean functional, direction-oriented, and effective. So, to craft a well-designed landing page, you'll have to tap into both your right and left brain. But don't get me wrong, you still need great imagery and attractive colors to convert your visitors. We'll touch on how to incorporate all of this below. Landing page structure. The good news is you don't need to get too creative here. Most landing pages follow a very similar structure because it's been proven to work. You can infuse your creativity through branded elements and images, but stick to a landing page format that people are used to seeing. A good landing page has 5 elements. Check out the landing page example below to see these elements in practice. Headline that grabs the visitor's attention. Relevant image that is relevant to your audience. Lead form that sits above the fold to capture visitors' information. Ta, that is action, oriented and compelling. Copy and description that informs and entices your visitor to complete your form. Can your landing page include more than this? Absolutely. Think social share buttons that visitors can use to spread the word about your offer. This is simply the bare minimum. You need to know your audience, where they are coming from, and where they are in their buyer's journey to know how much you need to include. The rule of thumb is to include as much information as you need to get people to convert. Landing page layout. This may come as a surprise, but most people don't read every word of your cleverly crafted copy. Instead, they skim through and pull out the most important tidbits. Your job is to make those tidbits stand out so your visitor doesn't miss anything important. That means a few things. Keep the most important information above the fold so your visitor doesn't need to scroll to get to it. Perform a blink test on your page, meaning a visitor should be able to gather the main message in less time than it takes them to blink. Less than 5 seconds. Use white or negative space to keep your visitor engaged, focused, and to help them comprehend your message. Write with bullets and short paragraphs to make your copy easy to digest. Try to work the important copy into an F pattern, which is the direction that most people scan a page online. Work with the flow of visual patterns to drive people to the key points that will get them to convert. Landing page colors. The design of your landing page, including the colors you use, should reflect that of your website. You're aiming to form a long-term relationship with the people who visit your landing page, and that means they need to become familiar with your branding colors and unique style. The more they recognize your brand, the more they trust you, and the more they trust you, the easier it is to get them to do what you want them to do. The areas where you should consider using alternate colors are on the elements of your page that need to stand out. Ahem, your kite, button. Contrast is the name of the game here. Say your branded colors are mostly green, you'll want to choose a color that can draw users' attention. Say purple. Wondering what colors perform well? We did a little research for you to determine which colors convert best. Landing page images. The image on your landing page is the first things people see, and since people process visuals far quicker than they do text, it sets the tone for their entire experience. But how can you possibly choose between millions of stock photos and that company photo shoot that's taking up all the space on your computer? Let's narrow down the selection with a few important questions. Who is my target audience? What does your persona look like? How old are they? How do they dress? What are they interested in? The answers to these questions are important in determining what image you're going to place front and center on your landing page. If it's going to appeal to your audience, then it needs to represent them in some way. Where on my landing page do I want them to look? This might seem like an odd question, but really it's based on the idea that people follow directional cues, like where someone is looking or pointing. If you want visitors to fill out a form, consider an image that drives their attention toward that form. Will this image reinforce my message? Every element on your landing page serves an important purpose. Since your image is one of the first things that people see, it should help clarify what the visitor can expect from your page. Make sure that your image adds value. Here are some other important things to consider when creating great landing page images. Call to action, kakta. We've discussed your STATA a few times so far, but since it's the most important part of your landing page, it's worth mentioning again. When it comes to the design of your car, there are a few tricks will make it so alluring that visitors feel compelled to click. To clarify, your key T includes the button and the copy you use to draw attention to it. These tips cover both. Give your cater a vibrant and contrasting color. Focus your copy on the benefit to your visitor. Get to the point. Try using no more than 5 words. Tell your visitor what you want them to do using action verbs. AG, get, download, click. Make your button large enough to stand out on the page. Give it some negative space. Don't crowd the area around your key. Follow the flow of the page and place your key T where your reader's eyes will go, such as to the right of or below the copy. Test your button shape. Test your copy. As a matter of fact, test everything. We'll cover how to do this below. Can your landing page include more than this? Absolutely. Think social share buttons that visitors can use to spread the word about your offer. This is simply the bare minimum. You need to know your audience, where they are coming from, and where they are in their buyer's journey to know how much you need to include. The rule of thumb is to include as much information as you need to get people to convert. Landing page layout. This may come as a surprise, but most people don't read every word of your cleverly crafted copy. Instead, they skim through and pull out the most important tidbits. Your job is to make those tidbits stand out so your visitor doesn't miss anything important. That means a few things. Keep the most important information above the fold so your visitor doesn't need to scroll to get to it. Perform a blink test on your page, meaning a visitor should be able to gather the main message in less time than it takes them to blink, i.e., less than 5 seconds. Use white or negative space to keep your visitor engaged, focused, and to help them comprehend your message. Write with bullets and short paragraphs to make your copy easy to digest. Try to work the important copy into an F pattern, which is the direction that most people scan a page online. Work with the flow of visual patterns to drive people to the key points that will get them to convert. Landing page colors. The design of your landing page, including the colors you use, should reflect that of your website. You're aiming to form a long-term relationship with the people who visit your landing page, and that means they need to become familiar with your branding colors and unique style. The more they recognize your brand, the more they trust you, and the more they trust you, the easier it is to get them to do what you want them to do. The areas where you should consider using alternate colors are on the elements of your page that need to stand out. Ahem, your Copte button. Contrast is the name of the game here. Say your branded colors are mostly green. You'll want to choose a color that can draw users' attention, say purple. Wondering what colors perform well? We did a little research for you to determine which colors convert best. Landing page images. The image on your landing page is one of the first things people see, and since people process visuals far quicker than they do text, it sets the tone for their entire experience. But how can you possibly choose between millions of stock photos and that company photo shoot that's taking up all the space on your computer? Let's narrow down the selection with a few important questions. Who is my target audience? What does your persona look like? How old are they? How do they dress? What are they interested in? The answers to these questions are important in determining what image you're going to place front and center on your landing page. If it's going to appeal to your audience, then it needs to represent them in some way. Where on my landing page do I want them to look? This might seem like an odd question, but really it's based on the idea that people follow directional cues, like where someone is looking or pointing. If you want visitors to fill out a form, consider an image that drives their attention toward that form. Will this image reinforce my message? Every element on your landing page serves an important purpose. Since your image is one of the first things that people see, it should help clarify what the visitor can expect from your page. Make sure that your image adds value. Here are some other important things to consider when creating great landing page images. Call to action, CAC. We've discussed your state a few times so far, but since it's the most important part of your landing page, it's worth mentioning again. When it comes to the design of your car, there are a few tricks will make it so alluring that visitors feel compelled to click. To clarify, your key includes the button and the copy you use to draw attention to it. These tips cover both. Give your K a vibrant and contrasting color. Focus your key copy on the benefit to your visitor. Get to the point. Try using no more than 5 words. Tell your visitor what you want them to do using action verbs. A. Get, download, click. Make your button large enough to stand out on the page. Give it some negative space. Don't crowd the area around your car. Follow the flow of the page and place your key where your reader's eyes will go, such as to the right of or below the copy. Test your button shape. Test your copy. As a matter of fact, test everything. We'll cover how to do this below. Can your landing page include more than this? Absolutely. Think social share buttons that visitors can use to spread the word about your offer. This is simply the bare minimum. You need to know your audience, where they are coming from, and where they are in their buyer's journey to know how much you need to include. The rule of thumb is to include as much information as you need to get people to convert. Landing page layout. This may come as a surprise, but most people don't read every word of your cleverly crafted copy. Instead, they skim through and pull out the most important tidbits. Your job is to make those tidbits stand out so your visitor doesn't miss anything important. That means a few things. Keep the most important information above the fold so your visitor doesn't need to scroll to get to it. Perform a blink test on your page, meaning a visitor should be able to gather the main message in less time than it takes them to blink, i.e., less than 5 seconds. Use white or negative space to keep your visitor engaged, focused, and to help them comprehend your message. Write with bullets and short paragraphs to make your copy easy to digest. Try to work the important copy into an F pattern, which is the direction that most people scan a page online. Work with the flow of visual patterns to drive people to the key points that will get them to convert. Landing page colors. The design of your landing page, including the colors you use, should reflect that of your website. You're aiming to form a long-term relationship with the people who visit your landing page, and that means they need to become familiar with your branding colors and unique style. The more they recognize your brand, the more they trust you. And the more they trust you, the easier it is to get them to do what you want them to do. The areas where you should consider using alternate colors are on the elements of your page that need to stand out. A hem your cat button. Contrast is the name of the game here. Say your branded colors are mostly green. Wondering what colors perform well? We did a little research for you to determine which colors convert best. Landing page images. The image on your landing page is one of the first things people see, and since people process visuals far quicker than they do text, it sets the tone for their entire experience. But how can you possibly choose between millions of stock photos and that company photo shoot that's taking up all the space on your computer? Let's narrow down the selection with a few important questions. Who is my target audience? What does your persona look like? How old are they? How do they dress? What are they interested in? The answers to these questions are important in determining what image you're going to place front and center on your landing page. If it's going to appeal to your audience, then it needs to represent them in some way. Where on my landing page do I want them to look? This might seem like an odd question, but really, It's based on the idea that people follow directional cues, like where someone is looking or pointing. If you want visitors to fill out a form, consider an image that drives their attention toward that form. Will this image reinforce my message? Every element on your landing page serves an important purpose. Since your image is one of the first things that people see, it should help clarify what the visitor can expect from your page. Make sure that your image adds value. Here are some other important things to consider when creating great landing page images. Call to action. Seitai. We've discussed your seitai a few times so far, but since it's the most important part of your landing page, it's worth mentioning again. When it comes to the design of your car, there are a few tricks will make it so alluring that visitors feel compelled to click. To clarify, your seitai includes the button and the copy you use to draw attention to it. These tips cover both. Give your seitai a vibrant and contrasting color. Focus your seitai copy on the benefit to your visitor. Get to the point. Try using no more than 5 words. Tell your visitor what you want them to do using action verbs. Yeji. Get, download, click. Make your button large enough to stand out on the page. Give it some negative space. Don't crowd the area around your key. Follow the flow of the page and place your key where your reader's eyes will go, such as to the right of or below the copy. Test your button shape. Test your copy. As a matter of fact, test everything. We'll cover how to do this below. Types of landing pages. Squeeze page. Splash page. Lead capture page. Click. Through landing page. Get started landing page. Unsubscribe landing page. Long form sales landing page. Paid advertising landing page. 404 landing page. About us landing page. Coming soon page. Pricing page. Thank you landing page. 1. Squeeze page. 79 of Boo-Poo marketers say email is the most effective channel for demand generation, so it's not surprising that squeeze pages are one of the most important and effective landing pages out there. A squeeze page is one in which the goal is to capture the user's email address. Once you have the address, you can begin to nurture that lead with relevant content and other offers. The most common type of squeeze page is gated content or a prompt to enter your email address to receive a newsletter, ebook, white paper, or other content offer. Make sure your squeeze page is simple. Your seitai is tempting enough to get your user to give up their email address, and you make it easy for users to click out of the page and onto the content that brought them to your site. Squeeze page landing page exam. 2. Splash page. A splash landing page doesn't always have lead capture as the main goal. These pages are often used when someone clicks a social media or content link. Instead of being sent directly to the article or social media destination, the user is sent to an intermediary page, the splash page. This page might share an announcement with the user, such as we've just unveiled new dates for our 2019 marketing conference. It might also ask your user for a language preference or to enter their age. The splash page might also present an ad, which the publisher benefits from if the user clicks on the ad. The splash page above does 2 things really well. First, it offers a countdown to the end of the ad and the ability to easily click to the article once the ad is done. Second, it serves a clear purpose, to show the user an ad. 3. Lead capture page. A lead capture page is similar to a squeeze page, but generally sources more information. Name, business name, email address, job title, and industry are just a few things these landing pages seek to earn. The information you request depends on the goals for the page and those of your sales and marketing teams, as well as where the customer is in the funnel. If your lead capture page is top of the funnel, step away from the 8-lined form, please. If, however, your customer is landing on your lead capture page after demonstrating real interest in your product service, i.e., they downloaded 2 case studies, you should be able to ask for more information to help qualify and direct them. 4. Click through landing page. Every marketer knows you must provide value to your customer before asking them for money. A click through landing page provides that value without pummeling your customer with a buy now button before they're ready. Often, this looks like a landing page that shares the benefits and features of your product service with a cutter, but the cutter button encouraging your customer to try a free trial. Once they click on that button, they're taken to another landing page which provides pricing details and requires payment information to begin the trial. By the time your customer lands on this page, however, they're primed and educated on why they should move forward with the trial. In the examples below, you see the click-through landing page and then the payment landing page customers are sent to when they decide to embark on a free trial. 5. Get Started landing page. A Get Started landing page should lead with your offer above the fold. Take this page from MailChimp, which explains their overarching benefits, tools that turn audience data into insights that will guide campaigns. Hooked already? Great, because a Get Started button awaits. Need more convincing? Well, the details follow as you scroll a feature and benefit-laden landing page. 6. Unsubscribe landing page. Obviously, you're not going to build a campaign around your unsubscribe page, but it's important not to neglect it. Make sure it successfully unsubscribes your users, offers them a chance to manage their preferences or adjust the cadence, and consider including links to other areas of your website, like this example from Whole Foods. After all, just because they don't want to receive your emails doesn't mean they might not want to browse your site. Consider adding a second chance button that prompts users to resubscribe, just in case they get cold feet. 7. Long form sales landing page. On a long form sales landing page, brevity is not your friend. You want to think of every question your customer might have for you, every barrier to purchase they might face, and every benefit they'll enjoy by making a purchase when they scroll to the bottom of the page. Take this example from Seth Godin's Altumba. It starts with an informative video that tells you why now is the right time to apply. Then you see the names of companies and pictures of students who have benefited from the course. Quotes follow, along with links to join mailing lists, learn more about the program, and read testimonials. Finally, at the bottom of the page is a cater button for the application and program dates that add a sense of urgency. A sales landing page should be detailed and lack the minimalism of, say, a squeeze page, simply because your goal for the page is to close business. 8. Paid advertising landing page. If you're not sending customers who click on your paid ads to the right landing page, you're throwing money away. Generally, you want to generate leads from these ads. Not necessarily sales. Not necessarily sales. For example, while scrolling through Facebook, I clicked on this ad from Airtable. When I clicked on the ad, I was taken to this squeeze page. The ad didn't take me to a pricing or plan page, and it didn't take me to a page packed with features and benefits. It landed me strategically on a page that asked for one thing: my email address. It also featured a live demo of the project management tool that instantly grabs my attention and shows rather than tells me why Airtable is different and valuable. 9. 404 landing page. 404s are never a good look, but it's important you make them look as good as possible and work for you a little as well. Get creative with 404s, using humor to offset the error, and always direct your audience back to your home page or other neutral landing page. Then, put your 404 landing page to work as a lead generation tool. Take our own 404 page here at HubSpot. We offer the user 3 options. Visit our blog, learn more about our software, or sign up for a free demo. 10. About Us landing page. Your About Us page doesn't have to be a dead end. Make this landing page a lead generation page as well. Take this example from makeup company Glossier. They pack their About Us page with plenty of history, vision, and mission. But they also let the reader know how to move forward. The bottom of the page offers a reminder and links to shop, follow, email, and join the company, and an email subscription offer captures emails. 11. Coming soon page. Launching an exciting new product soon, but aren't quite ready to reveal the full offer. Or the incomplete landing page. Set up a simple coming soon landing page instead. Tease your offer, provide a launch date if you have one, and add a carte that asks them for their email address in exchange for an email notification when your product or service is live. 12. Pricing page. If you're unveiling new pricing or product tiers, you might consider pushing customers to your pricing landing page. Regardless, your pricing page should be one of the most heavily optimized pages on your site. Take this one from Wistia, which clearly outlines their 3-tiered packages, with links to more information or to get started. What I really love about their pricing page, however, are the 2 boxes right after a list of features and before a carousel of testimonials. They offer special callouts for interested parties who might not fall within the needs of one of the 3 boilerplate pricing templates. And if even those additional cactes don't speak to your needs, scroll down to the bottom and find a kite that offers customers the ability to choose your own adventure. 13. Thank you landing page. Too often, a thank you page serves no real purpose. It tells you what you already know. You've downloaded the greatest white paper in the world. Access it here. Put your thank you page to work by including additional offers or gifts. You've been given an incredible opportunity to provide more value to a highly motivated, already interested customer. Don't waste it. Take this example. Another one from HubSpot. I downloaded a guide on user-generated content, and the thank you page provided me an additional offer to receive free advice on leveraging user-generated content. The form I fill out to receive this advice asks for different, more detailed information about my business needs, allowing HubSpot to better craft the next offer they send my way. How to choose the right landing page for your campaign. Now that you understand the most common types of landing pages, the question remains: how do you pick the right one for your next campaign? Begin by asking yourself these questions. What are the business goals I'm trying to achieve with this landing page? How are my competitors achieving these goals? What are my audience's goals when they land on this page? How did my audience get to this page? i.e., what action or motivation brought them here? What do I want my audience to do when they leave this page? Once you understand the page's goals, consider whether it should be a short or long-form landing page. Short-form landing pages lend themselves well to squeeze landing pages, thank you landing pages, and unsubscribe landing pages. These pages require a small ask or provide a small service to the customer. Long-form landing pages are best reserved for sales landing pages, click-through landing pages, and pricing pages. And pricing pages, if you have a big ask of your customer, you should probably design a long-form landing page. So what does this look like in practice? Let's say I'm creating a brand awareness campaign for my new startup that facilitates puppy snuggles for tired office workers. A girl can dream, right? The business goals I have for this campaign are to capture new leads, email addresses, and drive impressions. My competitors are running social media campaigns driving customers back to a sales landing page. But since impressions and leads are my goal, not purchases, I might choose to run social media ads featuring big images of snuggling puppies. When customers click my ads, they're wondering what these cute puppies are about, so I'll take them to my About Us page to tell them more about Snugglepups in. Because I'm also hoping to drive email signups, I'll include a link to our weekly newsletter, which promises a roundup of the best puppy pics available. Hello, dear distinguished people. My aim is Dr. Abdelghani Fawad Hussain. Welcome to a new lecture from our training course. The complete collection of search engine optimization strategy templates with step-by-step instructions. How to do A/B testing. 15 steps for the perfect split test. Planning to run an A/B test? Bookmark this checklist for what to do before, during, and after to get the best results. When marketers like us create landing pages, write email copy, or design call to action buttons, it can be tempting to use our intuition to predict what will make people click and connect. However, you're much better off conducting a B testing than basing marketing decisions off of a feeling, as this can be detrimental to your results. Generally speaking, images with smiling faces have a positive effect on conversion rates. If you're selling a product, using pictures that clearly display the features and benefits will also improve your performance. As with other landing page elements, it's impossible to know for sure what your audience will respond to. So make sure to test a few different images to ensure you find the right one. Opt-in forms. When it comes to opt-in forms, it's usually best to keep the number of form fields to a minimum. Users may be put off if they think you're asking for too much information. For most lead capture forms, all you really need is a name and email address. Anything else is a luxury. So, if you have a longer opt-in form, try testing it against a shorter one to see if that makes a difference. Buttons. Your T button is the focal point of your landing page, where you prompt your visitors to take whatever step you need them to take. Given their extreme importance, it's essential to make sure that your KT buttons are clear, compelling, and easy to see. Any aspect of your KT button could have an impact on your conversion rate, from placement to wording to color. Try out different variations to see what works best. Countdown timers. Countdown timers are a super useful tactic for creating a sense of urgency when visitors land on your page. The unmistakable visual cue lets visitors know that the value you're offering won't be available for long, and they'd better act now if they don't want to miss out. If you're promoting a limited time offer, why not test to see if the presence of a countdown timer boosts your conversion rate? Social proof. Adding some credentials, testimonials, or endorsements to your landing page can often improve conversions by increasing the trustworthiness of your product or service. On the other hand, these elements are sometimes unnecessary and can detract from your cage by cluttering your page. Which is the right option for your campaign? Create a test to find out. Price points. Pricing experts have understood the power of numbers for decades. In the minds of consumers, $4.99 seems a lot cheaper than $5, and on restaurant menus, the dish listed as bruschetta. $5 seems more expensive than the one that appears as bruschetta. $5 seems more expensive than the one that appears as bruschetta. Try to use these subtle differences to your advantage when testing the way you present the numbers on your page. Page length. When it comes to landing page word count, the general consensus is that complicated and expensive offers require more text than simple low-cost offers. However, that's not always the case. Just like everything else we've mentioned, the only way to know for sure is to test. If you're not sure how long your page should be, create a short and long version and pit them against each other to see what your audience prefers. How do you perform a landing page A/B test in lead pages? So you've decided which element of your landing page you'd like to modify and test. How do you put your AFI pit test into action? Fortunately, if you're already a lead pages pro or advanced user, you can easily run as many A/B tests as you like directly within your account. Here's how. Inside your lead pages dashboard, click Create New Split Test. Find the page that you want to run a split test on and select it as your control. Add a variation by creating a copy of your control or choose a page you've already built. Select the percentage of traffic you'd like each page to receive. Review and launch your test. Keep reading to learn how to conduct the entire A/B testing process before, during, and after data collection so you can make the best decisions from your results. What is A/B testing? How does A/B testing work? Testing in marketing. Testing goals. How to design an A/B test. How to conduct A/B testing. How to read A/B testing results. Testing examples. What is A/B testing? A/B testing, also known as split testing, is a marketing experiment wherein you split your audience to test variations on a campaign and determine which performs better. In other words, you can show version A of a piece of marketing content to one half of your audience and version B to another. A/B testing can be valuable because different audiences behave, well, differently. Something that works for one company may not necessarily work for another. In fact, conversion rate optimization, CRO, experts hate the term best practices because it may not actually be the best practice for you. However, this kind of testing can be complex if you're not careful. Let's review how A/B testing works to ensure you don't make incorrect assumptions about what your audience likes. How does A/B testing work? To run an A/B test, you need to create two different versions of one piece of content with changes to a single variable. Then, you'll show these two versions to two similarly sized audiences and analyze which one performed better over a specific period, long enough to make accurate conclusions about your results. RTAB testing helps marketers observe how one version of a piece of marketing content performs alongside another. Here are two types of A/B of RTAB tests you might conduct to increase your website's conversion rate. Example 1. User Experience Test. Perhaps you want to see if moving a certain call to action button to the top of your homepage instead of keeping it in the sidebar will improve its click-through rate. To A/B test this theory, you'd create another alternative web page that uses the new cater placement. The existing design with the sidebar K, or the control, is version A. Version B, with the cup as the top, is the challenger. Then, you'd test these two versions by showing each to a predetermined percentage of site visitors. Ideally, the percentage of visitors seeing either version is the same. Learn how to easily A/B test a component of your website with HubSpot's Marketing Hub. Example 2. Design test. Perhaps you want to find out if changing the color of your Kite button can increase its click-through rate. To A/B test this theory, you design an alternative Kite button with a different button color that leads to the same landing page as the control. If you usually use a red Kite button in your marketing content and the green variation receives more clicks after your A/B test, this could merit changing the default color of your Kite buttons to green from now on. To learn more about A/B testing, download our free introductory guide here. Testing in marketing. Testing has many benefits to a marketing team depending on what you decide to test. There is a limitless list of items you can test to determine the overall impact on your bottom line. Here are some elements you might decide to test in your campaigns. Subject lines. CTAS. Headers. Titles. Fonts and colors. Product images. Blog graphics. Body copy. Navigation. Opt-in forms. Of course, this list is not exhaustive. Your options are countless. Above all, though, these tests are valuable to a business because they're low in cost but high in reward. Let's say you employ a content creator with a $50,000 year salary. This content creator publishes 5 articles weekly for the company blog, totaling 260 articles per year. If the average post on the company's blog generates 10 leads, you could say it costs just over $192 to generate 10 leads for the business. $50,000 salary, 260 articles, $192 per article. That's a solid chunk of change. Now, if you ask this content creator to spend 2 days developing an A/B test on one article, instead of writing 2 posts in that time, you might burn $192 as you're publishing fewer articles. But if that A/B test finds you can increase conversion rates from 10 to 20 leads, you just spent $192 to potentially double the number of customers your business gets from your blog. If the test fails, of course, you lost $192. But now you can make your next API test even more educated. If that second test succeeds, you ultimately spent $384 to double your company's revenue. You can run many types of split tests to make the experiment worth it in the end. Testing goals. IAB testing can tell you a lot about how your intended audience behaves and interacts with your marketing campaign. Not only does A/B testing help determine your audience's behavior, but the results of the tests can help determine your next marketing goals. Here are some common goals marketers have for their business when A/B testing. Increased website traffic. You'll want to use A/B testing to help you find the right wording for your website titles so you can catch your audience's attention. Testing different blog or web page titles can change the number of people who click on that hyperlinked title to get to your website. This can increase website traffic. An increase in web traffic is a good thing. More traffic usually means more sales. Higher conversion rate. Not only does A/B testing help drive traffic to your website, it can also help boost conversion rates. Testing different locations, colors, or even anchor text on your keywords can change the number of people who click these keywords to get to a landing page. This can increase the number of people who fill out forms on your website, submit their contact info to you, and convert into a lead. Lower bounce rate. A/B testing can help determine what's driving traffic away from your website. Maybe the feel of your website doesn't vibe with your audience, or perhaps the colors clash, leaving a bad taste in your target audience's mouth. If your website visitors leave or bounce quickly after visiting your website, testing different blog post introductions, fonts, or featured images can retain visitors. Perfect product images. You know you have the perfect product or service to offer your audience. But how do you know you've picked the right product image to convey what you have to offer? Use A/B testing to determine which product image best catches the attention of your intended audience. Compare the images against each other and pick the one with the highest sales rate. Lower cart abandonment. E-commerce businesses see an average of 70% of customers leave their website with items in their shopping cart. This is known as shopping cart. This is known as shopping cart abandonment and is, of course, detrimental to any online store. Testing different product photos, checkout page designs, and even where shipping costs are displayed can lower this abandonment rate. Now, let's examine a checklist for setting up, running, and measuring an A/B test. How to design an A/B test. Designing an A/B test can seem like a complicated task at first, but trust us, it's simple. The key to designing a successful A/B test is to determine which elements of your blog, website, or ad campaign that can be compared and contrasted against a new or different version. Before you jump into testing all the elements of your marketing campaign, check out these A/B testing best practices. Test appropriate items. List elements that could influence how your target audience interacts with your ads or website. Specifically, consider which elements of your website or ad campaign influence a sale or conversion. Be sure the elements you choose are appropriate and can be modified for testing purposes. For example, you might test which fonts or images best grab your audience's attention in a Facebook ad campaign. Or you might pilot 2 pages to determine which keeps visitors on your website longer. Pro tip: choose appropriate test items by listing elements that affect your overall sales or lead conversion and then prioritize them. Determine the correct sample size. The sample size of your A/B test can have a large impact on the results of your A/B test, and sometimes that is not a good thing. A sample size that is too small will skew the results. Make sure your sample size is large enough to yield accurate results. Use tools like a sample size calculator to help you figure out the correct number of interactions or visitors you need to your website or campaign to obtain the best result. Check your data. A sound split test will yield statistically significant and reliable results. In other words, the results of your A/B test are not influenced by randomness or chance. But how can you be sure your results are statistically significant and reliable? Just like determining sample size, tools are available to help verify your data. Tools, such as Convertise's A/B Test Significance Calculator, allow users to plug in traffic data and conversion rates of variables and select the desired level of confidence. The higher the statistical significance achieved, the less you can expect the data to occur by chance. Pro tip: ensure your data is statistically significant and reliable by using tools like A/B Test Significance Calculators. Schedule your tests. When comparing variables, keeping the rest of your controls the same is important, including when you schedule to run your tests. If you're in the e-commerce space, you'll need to take holiday sales into consideration. For example, if you run an A/B test on the control during a peak sales time, the traffic to your website and your sales make may be higher than the variable you tested in an off week. To ensure the accuracy of your split tests, pick a comparable time frame for both tested elements. Be sure to run your campaigns for the same length of time, to get the best, most accurate results. Pro tip: choose a time frame when you can expect similar traffic to both portions of your split test. Test only one element. Each variable of your website or ad campaign can significantly impact your intended audience's behavior. That's why looking at just one element at a time is important when conducting a A/B. Attempting to test multiple elements in the same A/B test will yield unreliable results. With unreliable results, you won't know which element had the biggest impact on consumer behavior. Be sure to design your split test for just one element of your ad campaign or website. Pro tip: don't try to test multiple elements at once. A good A/B test will be designed to test only one element at a time. Analyze the data. As a marketer, you might have an idea of how your target audience behaves with your campaign and web pages. A/B testing can give you a better indication of how consumers are really interacting with your sites. After testing is complete, take some time to thoroughly analyze the data. You might be surprised to find what you thought was working for your campaigns is less effective than you initially thought. Before the A/B test. Let's cover the steps to take before you start your A/B test. 1. Pick one variable to test. As you optimize your web pages and emails, you'll find there are many variables you want to test. But to evaluate effectiveness, you'll want to isolate one independent variable and measure its performance. Otherwise, you can't be sure which variable was responsible for changes in performance. You can test more than one variable for a single web page or email. Just be sure you're testing them one at a time. To determine your variable, look at the elements in your marketing resources and their possible alternatives for design, wording, and layout. You may also test email subject lines, sender names, and different ways to personalize your emails. Keep in mind that even simple changes like changing the image in your email or the words on your call to action button can drive big improvements. In fact, these sorts of changes are usually easier to measure than the bigger ones. Note: sometimes testing multiple variables rather than a single variable makes more sense. This is called multivariate testing. If you're wondering whether you should run an A/B test versus a multivariate test, here's a helpful article from Optimizely that compares the processes. 2. Identify your goal. Although you'll measure several metrics during any one test, choose a primary metric to focus on before you run the test. In fact, do it before you even set up the second variation. This is your dependent variable, which changes based on how you manipulate the independent variable. Think about where you want this dependent variable to be at the end of the split test. You might even state an official hypothesis and examine your results based on this prediction. If you wait until afterward to think about which metrics are important to you, what your goals are, and how the changes you're proposing might affect user behavior, then you may not set up the test in the most effective way. 3. Create a control and a challenger. You now have your independent variable, your dependent variable, and your desired outcome. Use this information to set up the unaltered version of whatever you're testing as your control scenario. If you're testing a web page, this is the unaltered page as it exists already. If you're testing a landing page, this would be the landing page. This would be the landing page design and copy you would normally use. From there, build a challenger, the altered website, landing page or email that you'll test against your control. For example, If you're wondering whether adding a testimonial to a landing page would make a difference in conversions, set up your control page with no testimonials. Then, create your challenger with a testimonial. 4. Split your sample groups equally and randomly. For tests where you have more control over the audience, like with emails, you need to test with 2 or more equal audiences to have conclusive results. How you do this will vary depending on the A/B testing tool you use. Suppose you're a HubSpot enterprise customer conducting an AppHeb test on an email, for example. HubSpot will automatically split traffic to your variations so that each variation gets a random sampling of visitors. 5. Determine your sample size, if applicable. How you determine your sample size will also vary depending on your A/B testing tool, as well as the type of ATB test you're running. If you're A/B testing an email, you'll probably want to send an A/B test to a subset of your list large enough to achieve statistically significant results. Eventually, you'll pick a winner to send to the rest of the list. See the Science of Split Testing ebook at the end of this article for more. If you're a HubSpot enterprise customer, you'll have some help determining the size of your sample group using a slider. It'll let you do a 50-50 A/B test of any sample size, although all other sample splits require a list of at least 1,000 recipients. If you're testing something that doesn't have a finite audience, like a web page, then how long you keep your test running will directly affect your sample size. You'll need to let your test run long enough to obtain a substantial number of views. Otherwise, it will be hard to tell whether there was a statistically significant difference between variations. 6. Decide how significant your results need to be. Once you've picked your goal metric, think about how significant your results need to be to justify choosing one variation over another. Statistical significance is a super important part of the A/B testing process that's often misunderstood. If you need a refresher, I recommend reading this blog post on statistical significance from a marketing standpoint. The higher the percentage of your confidence level, the more sure you can be about your results. In most cases, you'll want a confidence level of 95 minimum, especially if the experiment was time-intensive. However, sometimes it makes sense to use a lower confidence rate if you don't need the test to be as stringent. Matt Rolt, a senior software engineer at HubSpot, thinks of statistical significance like placing a bet. What odds are you comfortable placing a bet on? Saying, I'm 80 sure this is the right design, and I'm willing to bet everything on it, is similar to running an apt test to 80 significance and then declaring a winner. Rolt also says you'll likely want a higher confidence threshold when testing for something that only slightly improves conversion rate. Why? Because random variance is more likely to play a bigger role. An example where we could feel safer lowering our confidence threshold is an experiment that will likely improve conversion rate by 10 or more, such as a redesigned hero section, he explained. The takeaway here is that the more radical the change, the less scientific we need to be process-wise. The more specific the change, button color, microcopy, etc., the more scientific we should be because the change is less likely to have a large and noticeable impact on conversion rate. 7. Make sure you're only running one test at a time on any campaign. Testing more than one thing for a single campaign can complicate results. For example, if you B-test an email campaign that directs to a landing page while you're A/B testing that landing page, how can you know which change caused the increase in leads? During the A/B test, let's cover the steps to take during your A/B test. 8. Use an A/B testing tool. To do an A/B test on your website or in an email, you'll need to use an A/B testing tool. If you're a HubSpot Enterprise customer, the HubSpot software has features that let you A/B test emails, learn how here, case stats, learn how here, and landing pages, learn how here, and landing pages, learn how here. For non-HubSpot Enterprise customers, other options include Google Analytics, which lets you A/B test up to 10 full versions of a single web page and compare their performance using a random sample of users. 9. Test both variations simultaneously. Timing plays a significant role in your marketing campaign's results, whether it's the time of day, day of the week, or month of the year. If you were to run version A during 1 month and version B a month later, how would you know whether the performance change was caused by the different design or the different month? When running A/B tests, you must run the 2 variations simultaneously. Otherwise, you may be left second, guessing your results. The only exception is if you're testing timing, like finding the optimal times for sending emails. Depending on what your business offers and who your subscribers are, the optimal time for subscriber engagement can vary significantly by industry and target market. 10. Give the A/B test enough time to produce useful data. Again, you'll want to make sure that you let your test run long enough to obtain a substantial sample size. Otherwise, it'll be hard to tell whether the 2 variations had a statistically significant difference. How long is long enough? Depending on your company and how you execute the A/B test, getting statistically significant results could happen in hours, or days, or weeks. A big part of how long it takes to get statistically significant results is how much traffic you get. So if your business doesn't get a lot of traffic to your website, it'll take much longer to run an A/B test. 11. Ask for feedback from real users. A/B testing has a lot to do with quantitative data, but that won't necessarily help you understand why people take certain actions over others. While you're running your A/B test, why not collect qualitative feedback from real users? A survey or poll is one of the best ways to ask people for their opinions. You might add an exit survey on your site that asks visitors why they didn't click on a certain keyword or one on your thank. You pages that asks visitors why they clicked a button or filled out a form. For example, you might find that many people clicked on a cart leading them to an ebook, but once they saw the price, they didn't convert. That kind of information will give you a lot of insight into why your users behave in certain ways. After the A/B test. Finally, let's cover the steps to take after your A/B test. 12. Focus on your goal metric. Again, although you'll be measuring multiple metrics, focus on that primary goal metric when you do your analysis. For example, if you tested 2 variations of an email and chose leads as your primary metric, don't get caught up on click-through rates. You might see a high click-through rate and poor conversions, in which case you might choose the variation that had a lower click-through rate in the end. 13. Measure the significance of your results using our A/B testing calculator. Now that you've determined which variation performs the best, it's time to determine whether your results are statistically significant. In other words, are they enough to justify a change? To find out, you'll need to conduct a test of statistical significance. You could do that manually, or you could just plug in the results from your experiment to our free A/B testing calculator. For each variation you tested, you'll be prompted to input the total number of tries, like emails sent or impressions seen. Then, enter the number of goals it completed. Generally, you'll look at clicks, but this could also be other types of conversions. The calculator will spit out your data's confidence level for the winning variation. Then measure that number against your chosen value to determine statistical significance. 14. Take action based on your results. If one variation is statistically better than the other, you have a winner. Complete your test by disabling the losing variation in your A/B testing tool. If neither variation is significant, the variable you tested didn't impact results, and you'll have to mark the test as inconclusive. In this case, stick with the original variation or run another test. You can use failed data to help you figure out a new iteration on your new test, while A/B tests help you impact results on a case-by-case basis. You can also apply the lessons you learn from each test to future efforts. For example, suppose you've conducted A/B tests in your email marketing and have repeatedly found that using numbers in email subject lines generates better click-through rates. In that case, consider using that tactic in more of your emails. 15. Plan your next A/B test. The A/B test you just finished may have helped you discover a new way to make your marketing content more effective. But don't stop there. There's always room for more optimization. You can even try conducting an A/B test on another feature of the same web page or email you just did a test on. For example, if you just tested a headline on a landing page, why not do a new test on body copy, or a color scheme, or images? Always keep an eye out for opportunities to increase conversion rates and leads. How to read A/B testing results. As a marketer, you know the value of automation. Given this, you likely use software that handles the A/B test calculations for you. A huge help. But after the calculations are done, you need to know how to read your results. Let's go over how. 1. Check your goal metric. The first step in reading your A/B test results is looking at your goal metric, which is usually conversion rate. After you've plugged your results into your A/B testing calculator, you'll get two results for each version you're testing. You'll also get a significant result for each of your variations. 2. Compare your conversion rates. By looking at your results, you'll likely be able to tell if one of your variations performed better than the other. However, the true test of success is whether your results are statistically significant. For example, variation A had a 16.4 conversion rate. Variation B had a 16.2 conversion rate, and your confidence interval of statistical significance is 95. Variation A has a higher conversion rate, but the results are not statistically significant, meaning that variation A won't significantly improve your overall conversion rate. 3. Segment your audiences for further insights. Regardless of significance, it's valuable to break down your results by audience segment to understand how each key area responded to your variations. Common variables for segmenting audiences are visitor type, or which version performed best for new visitors versus repeat visitors; device type, or which version performed best on mobile versus desktop; traffic source, or which version performed best based on where traffic to your two variations originated. Testing examples. We've discussed how A/B tests are used in marketing and how to conduct one, but how do they actually look in practice? As you might guess, we run many A/B tests to increase engagement and drive conversions across our platform. Here are 5 examples of A/B tests to inspire your own experiments. The Ultimate Guide to Landing Page A/B Testing. In this post, we'll cover the basics of A/B testing your landing pages. We'll look at the benefits of testing, what to expect from it, what you should consider when deciding what to test, and how to put it all into practice right inside the Lead Pages drag-drop builder By the end of the post, you should have a good understanding of the basic mechanics of A/B testing and feel prepared to start running your own tests with confidence. So first up, a quick refresher on A/B testing. What is landing page A/B testing and how does it work? A/B testing, sometimes called split testing, is a marketing strategy that pits two slightly different variations of the same page against one another to see which one yields the highest conversion rate. For example, while you're building your landing page, you might wonder how big your call to action character button should be, or if a different headline would convert better, or would an on-page countdown timer help or hinder your sign-up rate. For all these questions, and others like them, following your intuition or web design best practices will only get you so far. To discover the truth of what really works, you need to approach it like a scientist. You need to test. The way it works is pretty simple. Create a modified version of your landing page containing a single change, the variable, that you think could positively impact your conversion rate, a bigger, catter button, different headline, countdown timer, etc. Randomly assign half your landing page visitors to the original version and the other half to the modified version. Let the test run until you have an adequate sample size and compare the data from both versions of the page to see if your changed landing page had a positive or negative impact on your conversion rate. If the change is positive, you adopt the modified version as your new go-to landing page. If the change had a negative impact, continue using the original. It's important to appreciate that A/B testing isn't a one and done type of activity. It's an ongoing process that involves making incremental changes to your page in a bid to tune your campaign for maximum conversions. Every test you run builds upon the test that came before it. Even a negative result is useful in that it gives you a better idea of what won't work when it comes to designing your next test. You'll often hear A/B testing being mentioned in the same breath as multivariate testing. The two methods are quite similar but have some important differences. While A/B testing compares two different versions, A and B, of a landing page by changing one variable at a time, multivariate testing, instead, compares multiple variables at a time. Why do we do A/B testing? There's an old military saying that goes something like this: no plan survives first contact with the enemy. The idea is that no amount of planning can fully predict how things will pan out when your plan is eventually put into action. The same basic logic applies to your landing pages, although we don't advocate thinking of your visitors as enemies. Even your best guess of what will make your visitors most likely to convert is, in the end, just a guess. There are likely factors you haven't considered, and what you thought would work might pan out differently in practice. That's why roughly 60 of companies perform A/B tests on their landing pages. The beauty of A/B testing is that it ties the success of your sales and marketing campaigns to hard data instead of mere guesswork. By continually testing your assumptions, you end up discovering exactly what drives your audience to take action, so you can keep improving the conversion rate of your landing page. With that in mind, here are some major benefits of A/B testing. Enhanced user experience. When someone visits your landing page, chances are they have a specific goal in mind. Maybe they just came to learn more about your product or service. Maybe they've already decided they want to buy from you. Or maybe they're curious about who you are and what you offer. Whatever their goal, it's important to make their experience on your page as frictionless as possible. Confusing copy, jarring color schemes, and hard-to-find sign-up buttons are all potential stumbling blocks that could detract from the user experience and in turn, damage your conversion rate? Testing helps you identify these kinds of problem areas so you can adapt and create a more free-flowing user experience. Low risk, high reward. Since A/B testing is an incremental process, with only single changes being made at each step, the risk of your conversion rate falling off a cliff during any given test is relatively minimal. And even if you do find that changing a certain variable causes a significant dip in your conversions, you can simply change it back and use that knowledge moving forward. And of course, if the change improves your conversion rate, then you found something worth keeping. Understand your audience better. The discoveries you make by running A/B tests will improve your understanding of what drives your target audience's behavior. And the better you understand your target audience, the better your future guesses will be when it comes to improving your user experience and conversion rates even further. You can also use your findings in other areas of your business to further tailor your content, products, and services to your audience's preferences. Lower bounce rates. Your bounce rate is the rate at which visitors land on your page and leave without exploring any other pages on your website. It goes without saying that the more pages they visit, the better chance there is they'll convert. As you're performing your landing page A/B test, see how the different variables affect your bounce rate and take that into consideration when choosing a winner. Increase conversion rates. Even small changes can have a massive impact on your conversion rates, sometimes by as much as 300s. That's why A/B testing is so important. By testing every element of your landing page and finding what drives the best results, you'll eventually be left with a fully optimized landing page that converts at a crazy high rate. More revenue. A lot of businesses create new offers, products, and services in order to increase revenue. But since it takes a fair amount of time and money to generate new high-quality traffic, it's much more effective to get the most out of the traffic you already have. By using A/B testing to optimize your sales pages, you'll increase your conversions, which in turn will increase your revenue, without having to come up with any new offers. Examples of landing page A/B testing success. If you're still not fully convinced that it's worth incorporating A/B testing into your campaigns, perhaps the following stories from some of our customers will sway you. 20/80 conversions by removing the K. Lead Pages customer, the Foundation, discovered that simply deleting the action-oriented headline on their video squeeze page boosted their conversions by 28. Even more surprising, the Foundation team also ran the same test on their homepage. In both cases, the no headline variation won out by a significant margin. How's that for counterintuitive? 34.43 conversions by using the right product image. We've often noticed that conversion rates increase when you include an image of your product in your opt. In box, one of our customers, J. June at Old School Value, tested the performance of two different images of his stock analysis of two different images of his stock analysis software package. The more modern looking of the two images outperformed the more traditional looking image by 99.76. 307 conversions by using the right headline. Award-winning author Amanda Stevens got dramatic results when she ran a simple headline A/B test on her ebook landing page. Her conversion rate skyrocketed just by switching her headline from New Book Reveals Rescue Remedies for Retailers. 2. If you're a retailer in need of fresh ideas and proven growth strategies, this book is for you. A big thanks to all the Lead Pages customers and small business marketers who have given us permission over the years to publish the results of their landing page, AB tests, and split tests. How to decide what to test. Okay, so you're sold on the benefits of landing page A/B testing and want to run your first test. But where do you begin? It wouldn't make much sense to just start testing things at random. If you can't think of any reason why your proposed change would have a positive impact on your conversion rate, then there's no reason to test it. For quicker and better results, base your hypotheses on the current performance of your landing page. There are multiple ways to gauge how well your page is performing, from analyzing the quantitative data found in your analytics to reviewing the qualitative feedback you get from testing the page with your colleagues or friends. The basic point is to use all the data sources at your disposal to work out where your page could do better. For example, if your analytics show that 60 of visitors drop off while they're filling out the sign up form, maybe you should reduce the number of form fields. If your friend has trouble understanding what the page is selling, maybe your headline should be clearer. To help you decide which tests to run first, we recommend using the ICE prioritization framework. This framework poses 3 questions for you to answer when considering whether you should run a test. Impact. How impactful do you expect this test to be? Confidence. How sure are you that this test will prove your hypothesis? Ease. How easily can you launch this test? You should answer each question with a score from 1 to 10. The average of these 3 scores is your test's overall ICE score. For example, let's say you give your proposed test the following scores: impact 5, confidence 4, ease 8. In this case, your test's overall ICE score would be 5.6. You can then compare this score with other proposed tests to try out first. Testing ideas for different parts of your landing page? Which variable you decide to modify during any given A/B test will depend on your goals and the unique details of your landing page. That said, modifying any one of the following landing page elements could have a big impact on your conversion rates. Headline. First impressions are everything, and since your headline is the first thing your visitors will read, it's essential to nail it. A bland, confusing, or irrelevant headline will deter many visitors from staying on the page, thereby damaging your conversion rate. If you think your headline could use some work, try testing different title lengths, wordings, and benefits pain points. For example, instead of a generic headline like "Grab this ebook while you still can," try something more specific and evocative, like "Learn the success strategies that will propel your music career forward." Crafting the perfect headline is a balancing act. You want it to be compelling enough that people respond to your call to action, informative enough that people understand the value you're offering, and brief enough that people don't get bored or frustrated and leave the page. Copy. As with your headline, your landing page body copy should make it clear what value your visitor will get from handing over their contact details or payment info. Make sure that your copy also addresses any obvious questions and potential objections, and try to strike the right tone for your audience. Some things you can test with your copy include different subheaders, the order in which you present your ideas, subjects, or topics, the benefits you focus on, formal versus casual language, images. The images you use have just as big an impact on your conversion rate as your copy, so don't overlook them.